Well, hello, and welcome back to Infinite Jeff, the project where I, Jeff, read the book Infinite Jest to you. One day at a time, one page at a time. Oh, yeah. A book by David Foster Wallace, published 1996, originally, so 24 years ago. We're on page 146, and if we remember from yesterday, or whenever you listen to this last, it is the reasons why people turned away from video telephony, video phone. So we're on the first reason. So here we go, page 146. Allowed you to presume that the person on the other end was paying complete attention to you while also permitting you not to have to pay anything even close to complete attention to her. A traditional oral-only conversation, utilizing a handheld phone whose earpiece contained only 6 little pinholes, but whose mouthpiece, rather significantly, it later seemed, contained 6 squared, or 36 little pinholes, let you enter a kind of highway hypnotic semi-attentive fugue. While conversing, you could look around the room, doodle, fine groom, peel tiny bits of dead skin away from your cuticles, compose phone pad haiku, stir things on the stove. You could even carry on a whole separate additional sign language and exaggerated facial expression type conversation with people right there in the room with you. All while seeming to be right there attending closely to the voice on the phone. And yet, and this was the retrospectively marvelous part, even as you were dividing your attention between the phone call and all sorts of other idle little fugue-like activities, you were somehow never haunted by the suspicion that the person on the other end's attention might be similarly divided. During a traditional call, e.g., as you, let's say, performed a close tactile blemish scan of your chin, you were in no way oppressed by the thought that your phone mate was perhaps also devoting a good percentage of her attention to a close tactile blemish scan. It was an illusion, and the illusion was oral and orally supported. The phone line's other end's voice was dense, tightly compressed, and vectored right into your ear, enabling you to imagine that the voice's owner's attention was similarly compressed and focused, even though your own attention was not, was the thing. This bilateral illusion of unilateral attention was almost infantilely gratifying from an emotional standpoint. You got to believe you were receiving somebody's complete attention without having to return it. Regarded with the objectivity of hindsight, the illusion appears irrational, almost literally fantastic. It would be like being able to both lie and to trust other people at the same time. Let me just take a break here to say, that's that's what I've noticed with all these Zoom meetings in the Corona period. Like, when I'm on the phone orally, I can be doing other things, or I can be laying in bed like I was when I was talking to my friend Heather last night. Just kind of looking around the room, listening, but also tired. But on a video call, I'm constantly, looking at the fucking monitor, and, yeah, I agree. And now back to our regularly scheduled programming. Video telephony rendered the fantasy insupportable. Callers now found they had to compose the same sort of earnest, slightly over-intense listener's expression they had to compose for in-person exchanges. Those callers who, out of unconscious habit, succumbed to fugue-like doodling or pants crease adjustment now came off looking rude, absent-minded, or childly self-absorbed. Callers who even more unconsciously blemish-scanned or nostril-explored looked up to find horrified expressions on the video faces at the other end, all of which resulted in videophonic stress. Even worse, of course, was the traumatic expulsion from Eden feeling of looking up from tracing your thumb's outline on the reminder pad or adjusting the old unit's angle of repose in your shorts and actually seeing your videophonic interface idly strip a shoelace of its gumlet as she talked to you, and suddenly realizing your whole infantile fantasy of commanding... Alright, that's page 146. But, that makes perfect sense. I don't know if Wallace was just kind of assuming that's how people would treat it, or if they had actually, had early videophony data to go off in, whatever the mid-90s, but he's right. We'll see if the other two reasons shake out as right, but yeah. Yeah, because when I'm talking on the phone, on the phone, audio phone, I can be walking around, smoking a bowl, blah, blah, blah. But if I'm on Discord or Zoom or something, I'm glued to my chair and I'm paying attention, and I feel rude if I try to do something else. So he's 100% right. So cool. But that was page 146 of this book, Infinite Jest. On Infinite Jeffst. Good night.